And we are in. Welcome to another episode of Nanteleod's Legacy. The year is now 508. We're going to quickly meet the cast, and then we're going to dive right in so we can get to the meat and potatoes. We're going to start on our left with Yampa.
Hey guys, Yampa here, playing Saroon Trollbane. Happy to be back.
Wergar. Drax.
Yeah, WH. You gotta be less emotional when you do it.
I didn't have the time to do the Ferris Bueller.
Drax playing as Serene. Hoping the war does solve some family problems. If not, then he's got his hands bloody.
As one does. We will go to Bert next. Hey there, Bert.
Hey, Bert. No, I'm just kidding. This is Bert playing Sir Cormac, the self-proclaimed okayest breaker of chains. Every war he's in, he sets slaves free, or at least prisoners free.
And by sets free, that can be very nebulous, like sets them free from their body.
No, he breaks the chains that they're bound in and sets them free.
Sure about that? I remember you setting a fairy free. Remember that?
Yeah, set a fairy free. That was the first time. Then I set slaves free.
I think you got a lot of selling to do.
That was an
chain breaker.
that was an Oracle event up in for the Gales, the 3 Cadlus. I rescued some knights during the.
I'm not convinced. I'm sorry.
It's all Lucius's fault.
We'll go to Trent. Trent, what's up?
Hello. I'm Trent. I'm playing Sir Gwydir, who doesn't really do anything in every battle except fight people, which seems to me
kills kings.
Kingslayer.
Kingslayer.
Kinslayer.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Kinslayer, probably another one soon.
Other one, yeah.
Reigns in line.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're gonna.
I got next on Kinslayer.
Dibs. You calling dibs on Kinslayer? All right. Let's see here. Who gonna be here? I think I got everyone I need. Mm-hmm. All right. I think we can go ahead and dive right into a feast, perhaps.
Ooh, feast time.
Just looking to see
how much trouble I can get him.
There's no Lady Helly or Alice this event, but for Kaylin's.
Is Easter Feasty?
It is the feaster.
Feast.
For the feast.
We're still in the winter.
Yeah, I haven't put you guys over yet. Just getting her set up. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right into this. I'm gonna get a D20 from. We'll do Yampa this time. The 12. All right, give me a sec here. Things moving very slowly on my computer.
Is this feast still taking place in Caroline?
Yep.
Okay.
Caroline is that is the setting. Give me a sec here.
Frida is 20 this year, for what it's worth.
Cool. Leontis is also 20 this year.
No, how can look at them right next to each other? Wouldn't that be a match?
That would be fun.
You gonna try to make that match?
Oh, God, no.
Okay then.
Yeah, he would never match a pagan or heathen with a Christian. He knows the pain of such things.
Quitter's too nice for that.
It's too nice for that. Exactly. He would never. He would never commit his friend to marriage when he didn't want it. We have to give F3 it back, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Maybe.
What the hell is this? Give me a sec here.
Maybe, yeah. Well, we could if we defeat all the Saxons, maybe she doesn't have a place to go back to. Where was she from? Like Nohot or Essex? Maybe. I think she was Essex. Oh no, she's the original Essex girl. Yeah, it's not good. With all due respect to the Essex girls in the audience.
Yes, because we have oh so many of those within the 1, 2, 3, 4
D20,
people
sir.
currently watching.
Might have lurkers, man.
I'm seeing 7. Can I get a D20 from draft?
Yeah. $20.
Nice.
Get that out of the way right away.
Well, Commodore Zed, I am so sorry. I apologize.
It's fair. He runs the Saxon vampire game, so
I'm sorry.
That sounds
Oh.
fun.
I'm sure it is actually. Okay.
It just sounds like a longer way of saying gangrel.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair too. Can't relate the best.
Yeah.
Third best.
Fighting words.
I mean, if you want to fight the Bruja and the La Sombra, go for it.
Sure.
All right. Let's circle the wagons here. We're gonna close in, and
Fair.
we are gonna make some app rolls at the feast. Start with that. And I shall roll what we're eating. Oh, fat.
Mansion boy.
Roasted chicken
Hey,
with mustard and
Benedict
pine nuts and roast. Well, Sir Rune might be on the floor.
Fashion boy. Fashion boy is now famous. That's, worth noting.
That's impressive.
All right, so that's a +1. My wife can't have.
How are
Me
you
on
going
the,
up on those, Trent? By the way, those only go up on crits.
Oh no, my app isn't going. His.
No, fashion. Boy.
Fashion boy. Okay, so I've been going off the rules in. I can't remember which book it is. Where you roll. They go up 1 skill every year until they're 15, and then when they're 15, you roll a d6 every year, and they only go up on a 6. I can't remember which.
That should work out to be about the same. I'm fine with that. But in general, we're going to be moving towards just that.
Oh yeah, crits.
It's a nice, clean way of dealing with it.
Sounds good. I will stop doing that thing.
Because no one else has quick moving characters.
Oh yeah,
playing. Yeah. Okay. It gives them an opportunity to go up. With the exception when they hit 20, and they're just stuck. They're NPCs. They don't need to be super heroic NPCs. Stewardship or whatever.
Hope be sensible.
I
Near the salt.
need a salt.
Dog
Did you roll a
night.
second time? Because with the fumble, you got to roll a second time to see if you end up on.
Oh, Rune, I didn't even see that.
Oh, no.
No, what Rune? A banneret. A banneret is on the floor.
He's with the pups.
I don't think you've ever been on the floor.
And Rune of all people, who's already grumpy.
Can I give up my seat near the salt to Rune, and I'll sit on the floor? Is that allowed?
No, you cannot.
I think there's
Why? You're not proud enough to not
There's rules,
taking.
but not
You
rules,
failed your
not
proud
rules
roll.
to trade with another PC.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
man.
do that.
Okay,
Give up your seat randomly.
I tried.
If I had passed that proud, I would have said yes, but
He's okay. Oh yeah, I forget that he's quite modest. He's pretty chill.
Famously modest. He's like 16, isn't he? Modest? 17.
17.
I can math. And then everyone else is nope. Below the salt.
I'm below the salt.
Ah yes, we're back. We're back to the beginning.
I'm blaming that on Kedrick. Because my little...
Is
Yeah.
Really? He was away for a bit.
Hopefully not for long.
Is Sir Finnegan here for Easter?
Well, he's a
No.
Prince of Logris now.
No, he's not. No, he is not.
Sad. I'm gonna have to send him a letter.
Can he read?
I mean, can any
If he has forgotten how to read, I will be upset.
That's fair.
I made sure to make sure that I raised him reading.
I mean, I got a little bit.
Gwydir is aggressively illiterate. He finds the concept of reading to be offensive.
This is
And it's
Ted.
worth nothing.
See Ted
worth
run.
remembering.
Ted runs.
It's right. But apparently that was one of the things in the Druidic culture was that literacy was a sign of weakness because it was a sign of a weak mind. You needed to write things down rather than just remembering.
Ah, interesting.
That's why there's no culture left from the Gauls, even though they controlled most of France, because nothing was written down.
On the other hand, Cormac teaches everyone to read.
That's
Matic
good.
reads because Cormac taught him. Orion reads because Cormac is teaching him.
Frida she gets punishments if she attempts to read.
All she has to say is, "Stop hitting me when I try to read, and I will bounce you like a ball."
She wouldn't
We
dare.
will have
She
a
knows it's
cousin
good
on
for her.
cousin fight again.
She's my squire, and she will do as she's told.
She will read if she wants to. She can leave your world behind.
2D100, 1 and 5?
That's awesome. And then the opposite direction.
Right?
Wow, yeah. Had a swing. I'm just gonna go ahead and roll my
Yeah, why don't you
You're
give us-
flirting now?
Why don't we kick this off for Gwydir here?
All right, I will be floating. Who's here?
Both
You got some.
your
Why?
betrothed and the lady you spent a single night with.
Yeah, well, I don't
Lyrathol
have an
isn't
amor for
here?
her, but she has an amor for me because I crit flirting or something, right? Anyway, don't worry about that. I suppose I'll flirt with my betrothed, or rather attempt to.
See how that goes.
Yeah.
They say cat fight.
Oh!
There you go.
I
Oh.
have it.
And
Finally. I found
Gwydir
I
pulls off the
realized what-
charm.
Yeah, that's right.
Aw.
It's taken me like several years, but I finally figured out what makes her tick a little bit.
So wait, you don't want to hear another story about me being the champion of some end?
Well, I think that because she's her swimming skill is 15 and her reckless skill is 13, so I think maybe like his way of flirting with her is just saying, "Hey, listen, it's Easter, it's spring. Let's go for a swim one day or something like that, and it gets a little bit kind of like if we happen to get a glimpse of one another's glistening muscles, that wouldn't be so bad, would it?"
All right, we're gonna go to Cormac with that.
All right. On that note, Cormac, who for the first time does not have to guard the king on the high area, is actually just going to... You know what? He's not even going to pull cards.
What?
Sorry. I guess he's pulling cards.
Yes.
3. Hold up. Where am I at? I am at 97. I'm not quite at 4 yet, am I?
If you're at over 8,000, it's 4.
Oh, so I am at 4. Cool. And one more. Let's see. Fairy lore, manners, and lost love. I will pick... You know what? I'm picking fairy tales.
That was surprising. I suppose you do have some fairy tales now, at least. That's pretty cool.
All right. Let's see.
No,
that
I
fairy
give
lore
those
roll.
tales back.
I was just borrowing them.
Oh, I don't know much.
Yeah. Somehow your fairy tales keep diverting back to God, like, or your family.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not like it's a passion. It's just, what do I know about fairies? Well, this is what I know. They're not they're godless creatures.
Yeah, it's very boring for them. But
Yeah.
but that +1 geniality still.
Yep. Plus, I'm
Yeah.
near the salt, so one more.
It is.
Yes, you do actually. You nail the emotion of that story like Ben Stein, like it's bang on. No, I am. Yeah, you don't know a lot outside of, and what you do know is kind of
Everyone
melded
knows.
into your vision of faith, and so it's not the romantic stories they wanted to hear. All right. Nevertheless, you still spent some time around ladies.
A glorious event. A genial event.
A genial event, indeed. All right, we go to Rain for round 1 here.
Cards.
All right. I'm going to get a drink while you do.
Get him. Get him.
Oh, jeez. Talk about a sign.
Yeah, there's a theme. Wifely woes. Do you have a wife?
Yes,
Yep.
he does.
Yeah, Lady O'Leary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All right, what are you going with, sir?
Let's see. Oh wow. That first one's not even like Rain style at all.
You wax poetic about fair ladies.
Yeah, he doesn't wax poetic about anything.
Maybe well dressed. Oh, did you pass your fashion roll? Or did you have a
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
So maybe well dressed is the way.
Yeah. Let's do that. We'll do well dressed.
Oh, God, a fashion test?
Sure, why not? It's interesting.
Is that a personal fashion test or your wife's fashion test?
It's a personal fashion test. But
Yeah.
what we can say is, what did you pass with? How about that? What did you pass with when you rolled fashion? A 5, right? You got a 5?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so you have to do
Yeah.
a 5.
Yeah.
For your passion.
Yeah, I don't have any fashion, so I can't pass it. So
No, you just roll a d20, and if it's a
okay.
5 or under, because your wife dressed you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know those guys that literally that's their
Yeah, I
answer?
know.
It's like, you look nice. Oh, thanks. My wife dressed me. Like, that's...
Yeah.
that's- yeah.
I mean, that's basically Rain, because otherwise he would look like he just came out of the woods.
Well, it's not a fumble, so it is just 2 geniality. And
One.
so far it is racing to be them.
I'm below.
Oh, you're below, yeah. We're zooming in on the most boring round of the feast ever. As we,
It's
Is it-
because we're all more busy eating the fat cat.
to be honest,
than we are.
cards aren't as fun when they get higher. Like, there's this weird thing where it's like, there's an assumption that it's more fun because you can draw more cards. You know where the fun comes in? When you get stuck with a shitty card. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Nevertheless, we are at Rune, who is on the floor. Frida nods to you, raises her glass.
The Saxon squire sitting next to the banneret.
I'm out here just like sharing bread with Saxons and dogs and squires, but I'm famously modest, so I don't mind.
We cut to a scene up at the King's Seat. He's like, huh. It's like Sir Rune's not here. It cuts back to Rune, who's on the floor.
The dog's just whipping his ears.
I'm gonna roll temperate and hopefully pass it and spend some time just like chilling with the squires, you know.
Make sure the squires get lots to eat and drink as they want.
Yeah, well, just like if they have any questions about anything, I mean, Sarum Trollbane, you know, we'll learn them something.
It's kind of weird to have a war hero sitting on the ground with those people, so it could be a great opportunity. For
Yeah, oh yeah, they're like, love it. Yeah, you're Bilbo over here telling the young hobbit stories.
Yep.
No,
Honestly, probably Rune looking a little bit like too much, not enough butter spread on too much bread.
Right? Yeah, given everything he's been dealing with, that's fair.
I must take care of the next generation, since mine seems to be whittling down to nothing.
I was gonna say you ain't gonna have any of your own at this point.
Oh, dude.
Damn.
Savagery.
Do I have to dual Rain?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's just lining up the jewels. Oh wait, that was Rune.
All right, so does anyone have any passions or directed traits linked to Vortigern or Vortimer?
Yep.
Yeah.
What are
I
they?
have a Hames Vortigern.
Vortigern.
Yep. Hate Vortigern's famous at 16, and I have a directed trait of trusting of Vortimer.
Okay.
I mean, I hate him, but I don't hate him that much.
I don't even hate the guy.
Good.
I've got loyalty Lord. I'm loyal to Nanteleod. Does that count? Same bloodline.
Everyone give me an app roll -5.
Modified with stuff or just flat?
Just flat.
No.
Nope.
Okay. We go to round 2.
No. I don't like what you're doing. Okay.
Sorry,
Say that
I
from the
I asked for the wrong thing, so I'm gonna get you guys to do this again. I meant awareness roll. I said app. So give me an awareness roll -5. Yeah.
Rain
Crit.
passes.
Oh, baby!
Nice.
Gwydir starting off strong with the crits.
Yep.
That's not even a combat.
Nope.
Yeah. I flirted with my fiance, whose name I definitely remember. Crit. Awareness.
Okay. for the 3 that passed, you can give me a recognized roll -5. If it brings you to 0, then it's a 1, and you can roll the. Okay, all of you you see like a nobleman of some like he looks like he's dressed like he's of renown, but as he walks, like most of you guys lose sight. I think with Gwydier's crit, you actually kind of see him as he's walking. He walks by. Who will this be? This will probably be above the salt, we'll say. Like, and that would make sense. This is why Gwydir sees it. So he walks by Lady Eglent, who kind of, it looks like to Gwydir like they're about to collide. But as she walks, he walks right through her.
Like a ghost?
And then she like shivers a bit. And then continues on with what she's doing, like nothing happened.
The fuck? I think Gwydir just looks around and is like, what the did you see, whoever's next to him, I guess it's probably caught. Did you see that? He just walked straight through. Oh, see what? There's a spirit. There's a spirit. He doesn't respond. Gwydir's just going to stand up and...
Round 2.
Yeah, cool. Gwydir's going to stand up and run up to the high table. Is there a druid here? Is there a high druid here?
No.
There's a saint.
Yeah.
Iltid's pretty cool. He's not
actually
Dupercus.
Yeah, is Iltid here? I like Iltid.
Iltid's here.
Yeah, cool. He's going to run up to Iltid. Yeah, he's merciful to Christians. He doesn't resent them. Yeah, he'll just if he can get up to Iltid and Iltid, there's a spirit in the feasting hall. I just saw him over here. He points in a direction. He's just looking around, being strange and old.
Have you been eating anything strange, my boy?
Just the fat capons, which, apart from being a little too fat, if anything, they are delicious.
Well, what did he look like?
A nobleman. He was well dressed. He was about... Well, he walked through Lady Eglent over there, so he was about yay high, and I'm not sure. He's not...
Make
not
a fashion
I've seen
roll.
before. Fashion roll. Oh. See if the clothing is...
This is not your
50 or
clothing,
70.
so this has to be your fashion skill if you have it. Yeah. This is your... No- okay, you're
But
what a pass.
0.
yeah.
Technically, that is the pass because it's a 1, and you
No,
always
it's-
have a minimum of 1.
Not if you have a skill of
no.
0.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't know you had a
Damn
0.
it.
Yeah.
Can I have a +1 for...
You know what? Actually, we'll say we'll give it to you because it was a 1. Clothes looked older. Like the clothes you're like, I remember seeing nobles in that type of clothing
Yeah.
when I was young and
Years
my
ago.
grandpa was walking around.
Yeah. He looked like he was wearing my grandfather's clothing for some reason. I remember the ruffles. Actually, they probably didn't have ruffles back then, but I remembered something about them. The wrists, or an older man. Isn't there some sort of magic that you can do? Don't you have magic? You're a saint, right?
Gwydir never change.
You look great.
We can address this, my boy, when you're christened. Wait, what's the word I'm looking for? Christened?
Yeah,
There we go.
baptized.
Yeah.
Or both. Yeah.
Baptized?
Christened, I think, is what the old school term was, right?
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't do us any good now. What if the spirit means some harm to the king or us or something? We can't just let a ghost walk around the feast hall. I have capons to eat. Ilted.
Well, I'll keep my eye out. And he doesn't look like he's disregarding you. Like he goes and like starts to walk around. Yeah.
Well, he was walking from there to there. He walked through Lady Eglent, and I was just watching her because of the ghost. I wasn't staring. And
Oh God.
And I don't know where he's gone now because I came up here and I just... Would it be alright if I stayed with the king for a moment? I don't have a magical sword, but maybe I could punch the ghost if he tries to do anything strange.
He's like I think he's gone. Like you're like talking. You look. He's just kind of walking away like Yoda. You know, it's real slow.
I guess he'll go up to whoever is the current guards of Nanteleod and convey all that and see if he can stand guard with them.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no worries. Yampa, are we aware of your magic ghost killing sword?
No.
Okay.
I think the only one that might have an inclination is Maddox, and I don't even know if he survived the siege.
That's true. And he a bitch.
And he's here.
It's true. Yeah.
Nobody said anything about Matic dying. So.
Where he was wounded, he was brought down. But no, we never said that he was dead or not.
Who's that?
Matic.
Maddox alive.
Yep.
So he's probably hanging around with his best bud, Rune Trollbane, the most amazing knight in the Swords of Nanteleod.
He would be if he wasn't on the floor.
But you know,
Maddox got your table.
I got my fucking seat.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes perfect sense. You don't have a seat because Matic took your seat.
Maddox is not allowed within 20 feet of Nanteleod at any
Isn't he a Kingsguard though? He's like
No, he got
a
demoted.
little bodyguard.
He got demoted.
He did not get demoted. He is merely been tasked with assisting Sir Rune until the newest captain of the guard decides what to do with him.
Listen, if nobody has made anybody, including the king, aware that Maddox has been gassed by a strange fairy, then
He hasn't, though.
I mean, he definitely has.
He owes a favor to a fairy.
Yeah.
What makes you think that was a fairy?
the devil is his friend.
What makes you think it was a devil?
Well, okay, important question.
He brought you back to
Would
life. Yeah.
in character.
You know, does the devil bring good Christian men back to life?
Who knows?
They famously know.
Who knows how? I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't think that the devil would do the other way around.
All right, the important question is, I don't want to hold things up too much, is Gwydir aware of all this in character? I don't know if he is or not.
If you haven't heard it on screen and we haven't said you are, then no. It's pretty much everything in this game. It's a game of intrigue. So we'll cut over to Cormac for round 2.
All right. So what I'd like to do, I've spent some time chatting up some folks. I would like to... Sir Kedrick is the Seneschal. This is more a Seneschal issue than a king issue. I'd like to talk to Sir Kedrick about about who my neighbor is, so that I may fix this issue of the toll peacefully. Without having
This is just Cormac, it's like Cormac. It's like, you know what, bud, we're going to upgrade you. You're a vassal knight now. It gets our shitty neighbors right away.
It's true.
That's fine. That's fine. I have shitty neighbors. I will be nice to them. Because they deserve to have people be nice to them. Everyone deserves nice neighbors. And if I have to be that change, so be it.
Give me intrigue rolls, everybody.
Fun.
With our current geniality?
Sure.
Okay.
Ooh. I've only got 2 so far, right? You get it at the end of the round. Pass.
I succeed.
I passed it all.
Well, everyone's heard it. It seems that Sir Cormac this year has a new title, something that people are referring to him as. They are referring to him as the heir of Job.
That makes perfect sense.
Or Job's heir, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to have caught, not at the expense of Cormac, but it's sort of like it's taken fast to the crowd, let's just say. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, pretty much everyone's in that vibe. All right, with that, what was your action here, Cormac?
I want to speak to Kedrick about
right.
What I can do.
Okay.
Because I've been acting as the king's personal captain of the guard. I'm not necessarily familiar with how this side of things works.
Yeah. That's fair. Yes, you are near the salt. So this is just going to be an intrigue or a courtesy roll to, 1, get up to speak to Kedrick, who's above the salt, and 2, to not offend.
Okay. I'm going to go intrigue right now.
So if in the event that Cormac failed, what I would say is that, like, imagine that scene. It's like literally just gave up the authority for the free pass to walk up above the salt. Like the same year he gives that up, people are like, oh, it's like the bouncer. They quit like immediately, and it's like, sorry, I don't know who you are. And it's like, I just worked here last week. Like,
Jimmy, come on, Jimmy.
But I succeed, so
You succeed. All right, yeah. You get up to Kedrick.
Sir Kedrick, I was wondering if you might be able to help me with a small issue I seem to be having.
Mm-hmm. Very well, Sir Cormac. Does it pertain to your cousin?
No, should it?
Well, not per
I'm
se.
sorry?
I just assumed.
Oh, fair
What
assumption.
the fuck? What did I
I
do?
mean, you know who you are.
Just like
fair
ran
assumption.
to the feast, knocking over chairs and food to yell about a ghost.
No, so you may be aware that I have stepped down from the position of captain of Nanteleod's guard, and he has gifted me a manor for my service.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the congratulations on that. I must admit I'm feeling a bit out of my depth.
It's
Guarding the king.
normal, to regret stepping down from such a role after the fact. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself about that.
I didn't regret stepping down. It felt as though it was time. But I'm attempting to be a good neighbor, trying to make sure that I am not really stepping on anyone's toes or anything. But it appears my neighbor has put a toll upon the road that I need for my livelihood. I don't want to be rude or mean or hateful about it. But I'd also like to know what I am or am not allowed to do about it.
Difficult questions. Let's see.
I am-
Your neighbor. If I roll up here, 1 sec, and just reading what they have. Hate location, perfect. What is the name of your manor, Bert?
The name of my manor, if I'm allowed to name it myself, is Tuatem and Ured.
God.
Hold up, I am posting it now.
Okay. Well, you see, your neighbor, they come from further east, near the Irish lands, of course, and when they moved here, they were treated very poorly by the family that had the grant over your manor. This led to a series of blood feuds over several generations. Well, perhaps not several generations. Several of the bloodlines died, killing each other in conflict around the time of King Medrin. And what remained of your successor, or your sorry, I'm getting the wording poorly. What remained of the one who resided in said manor before you? The remnants of that family passed away in Nanteleod's wars, leaving no heir. The only heir was a lady who had taken to a nunnery, and she refused to return. So the manor was up for grant, and that's why it was granted to you. If you're still having conflict with them, perhaps it's because they don't like the manor. And perhaps they still have hard feelings regardless of who inherits it now. See, if it's gone on long enough, I find that people forget who their enemies are. They just hate. Perhaps a simple invitation to them might right some wrongs.
Thank you for your guidance. I will do all I can to make sure that this peace is brought to fruition.
The king cares very deeply for his subjects, and so if you were to require him, he would aid you, but it would distract him.
I understand that, but this is a petty issue. I asked not for your position as a seneschal, but because I know you are an expert in the area of the kingdom and its laws and its holdings. And I greatly appreciate your assistance in this.
Indeed. It's good to talk to you, Sir Cormac.
Well, thank you. I always find any assistance you're willing to give me wise and just.
All right. We're going to kind of move away. He gives a smile to Cormac and like maybe even a pat on the arm, and we will move below the salt.
Alrighty. Let's see what cards I can get again this time around.
Party boy cards. I haven't drawn any cards yet. Biggest mistake. Happens to have the word "Sedigot" in the middle of it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
Fight him again. Fuck it. Double rule.
Oh.
That's great. Choices.
Mm-hmm.
You can always roll a d4 if you don't know. Just give her.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's leave it up to chance.
Quarreling Knights.
Nice.
Just versus arbitrary. Oh, that's not gonna be. That could go either way.
Chivalrous Life will be interesting because chivalry hasn't been
Doesn't
mentioned
exist
yet, right?
yet.
So like,
So I roll each of them, right?
arbitrary, yeah.
Well, I think for cards we said until we move to the next system, we roll both. Ooh, we're gonna get that arbitrary.
Probably. It's more likely than not.
Kill him. Kill him.
Yeah, arbitrary. Yeah.
Okay, this is an argument between. I gotta check Homeland here. One sec.
Stack.
Always
of
my
enemies.
beast. Always the Gomerate or the Vicis.
And let's see who.
I feel like maybe Gwydir's cult, clan or whatever are like famously belligerent. They're always getting involved in shit.
Guilt by association. They know Gwydir.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, he'll come before. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Interesting. Roman, Londinium. Okay, you see one of Diggett's vassals pushing this foreigner who you happen to kind of meet briefly earlier. You don't really remember his name, but you remember he's from London. Now that London's, of course, liberated.
Right.
And I think you know what side you're going to take on this. One being Diggett's vassal.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one from Gomereth is Diggett's, I assume.
Yeah, because he has land up in that area.
I was going to say I would totally take a pagan over the Roman Christian, but yeah. Yeah, Family Feud time, so yeah. I would defend the Roman Christian, surprisingly enough, given what they're doing to Gwydir.
Okay.
But the guy that I'd met briefly earlier seemed at least more civil than
More civil.
Spot.
Yeah. Pagans aren't as known to be as civil either, right?
That's fair.
Yeah. Romans are like the epitome of civility, which is why they have law as a feature. Not chivalry, just civility. Yeah. So What happens? Arbitrary wins. You sided with one knight. Yeah.
Probably a feud. Yeah.
Okay. Did we give this guy a name? We probably didn't yet. Let's give
We
him
did
a
not.
name. Sir Peckham. Peckham? Peckham?
And which one's that? Is that the one that holds the grudge?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Just add some more enemies to the scenario.
Rains went so long without him. I guess it's time he's collecting on them now. Just gotta catch them all.
You know, I was asked recently, like, what do I do with NPCs? And I'm like, in this fucking game, just collect them. That's all you can do. Yeah.
Pokemon.
If you play with like cards and some of the curveball stuff we do, it's not going to be 8 people. It's going to be hundreds, and then you have your central cast, and then you have lots of others. We will move to. Let's see here. You failed the roll. What was the card worth?
Didn't fail the roll.
1. So you still get 1.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no bonus for passing it, so.
Okay.
Hey, quick
Remind me
question
again.
while we're doing geniality for Rain. Did I get geniality for having a pleasant conversation with Kedrick, sorry.
I thought you did, but we didn't look like we really gave you any. So 1 sec. You rolled in past intrigue, so yes. Now you're there.
Thank you.
And Rune.
I can draw cards down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Yep.
I think the only time you can is when you're above the saw, right?
Yeah, because I have ideas, but I don't want them to do those yet.
Mount Ash.
Uh-oh. Host card.
Oh, fuck.
Toast!
Courtesy all players opposed.
Courtesy, all players opposed. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
We all get geniality. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you guys geniality.
Too bad.
Yeah, you do.
Did- You just gave it to me because I'm going to win.
Really? You have courtesy?
I got a 10. Ah, shit.
Sitting on a 13.
Come on, crit.
Wow. Rain won a toast off? Is that
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I think we
He
did.
gets
like,
he gets 3 geniality and gets to check courtesy.
Awesome.
What do you say? Like we got to figure out, this is pivotal for him, so we got to figure out what he says.
Well, he would, of course, they would have some religious notes because it being Easter and everything. So it would be that. But he would actually tie that in with the gracious host of Nanteleod and the rest of the swords and everyone else that was fighting through the last war, and wish them all well for the coming challenges, trials, and tribulations that we have in the near future.
All right, roll me 2d100 here. I'll throw a curveball in this.
Yeah, that's good.
Need to add some spice. I need to spike this drink here. One
Yep.
sec for
I hear you.
14. Let's see if I can make sense of this. All right, yeah. I'll get it. I'm getting good at these improvs off these D100 rolls. So I think, on top of that, Rain, like you just kind of find yourself in that moment, like maybe you didn't even realize till you started to say it, but you're like, maybe there's hope at a peace for this island. Like Cambria and Logris are united, or allies. And Logris has been returned. London has been returned. The Saxons have been beaten back multiple times by Nanteleod. Cornwall's been pushed back. Yeah, and I think it just resonates well. So,
yeah.
All right.
Ain't gonna find no complaints from Ray on that.
All right, so we will move to make sure you get your glory for the courtesy roll too, because it's still crit, and then we will move towards Rune.
That was Rune.
Oh yeah, sorry, Rune.
Yep.
What a important piece for you.
But that gave everybody but Gwydir.
Yep.
That
and
geniality, including Rune.
Yep.
Right. That's why he's got two now. He's got two though. There, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna put us on a brief break here. I'm just gonna quickly use the washroom, and then we'll come back for round 3. And when we come back, we're gonna do some rolls. I'll be right back.
Some rolls.
All right, everyone. Awareness -5.
Nice.
Got a question. Since Gwydir pointed this out to me specifically. No?
Nope. Whatever. No. Look at what's going on over in Rain and Runeland.
Rain is distracted by his epic toast.
Yeah,
I think I've officially lost the title of Lord of Feasts.
At least for this feast. Well, the good thing is no one's noticed that you're here. So,
No one even knows that I'm here.
Don't worry, Rain won't judge.
I agree. Keep cutting in every feast round. There's another NPC that's like, man, where's Sir Rune? I thought he was going to be at this one.
Yeah. We love Sir Rune.
I'm just over here like gambling with the squires and taking their money.
Yeah. I reckon Frida would destroy you in gambling.
Really? Has
Seems
she
like
been
that.
gambling with him the entire time he was a squire and everything? Because
She's a Frida.
the guy who actually has points into gaming.
You have the
Probably
worst
have
luck
it.
in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
but that
nobody
wasn't
points in
always
gaming.
the case.
You lose every time. All right, I passed my awareness. Show me the
Yay.
ghost, Bob. You fuck.
Perfect. Okay. You see him walk out into the courtyard.
I chase him. God damn it! Give me. I want to roll cards. I chase the ghost.
You don't have to.
I know I don't have to, but it was Gwydir. Of course he's going to. Can I bring a saint with me, please?
I promise
Just
that
bring
was.
some saint
I
up.
promise that was just a slip of the button.
I get ambushed by security.
Resonance.
You're not Cornish, but I reckon the Summerland Cadwagan would fuck up Gwydir because he would never fight him 1-on-1. He would just stab him in the throat when he was asleep.
I mean, there's
All right, I follow the ghost. Is there? Look, if Ilton's still there, I'm going to point him out and say he's,
You turn to look for Iltid. You see him on the far end of the room looking around for a ghost.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I will go after the ghost.
Okay. You walk out into
There's a ghost!
Yeah, you walk out into the courtyard. You're sure, like, you round the corner to go, like, find him, and you end up in the courtyard, and the only one that's here is King Cattle of Push, Palace.
Oh, wow.
And he's out here, and he's snoring. He's, like, found his way over to a bench. And he's like, the kind of you're familiar with this kind of snoring. This is I drank way too much wine at the feast kind of snoring.
Good for him. I am going to look around for the ghost. There is no ghost, presumably.
You look around and there's no one, and then as you kind of look back at King Cattle, you hear from beside you. He has something that was never meant for him.
I'll spin around and reach for his sword, which presumably he doesn't have.
Right, correct. You see this man. We're going to give you another recognize roll, -5.
-3, so it's actually at a 1. Nope. What the? Who are you? What are you? Shouldn't you be in Anrune? Or what's going on? Explain yourself.
Lower the voice.
No! I'm not listening to a ghost. You're not even alive.
Not listening to a ghost. I'm gonna lie.
With that, he doesn't speak, but you hear the words like at the tip of your mind, and he says, "I won't ask nicely again."
Spiritual for a second. Jesus, a spiritual roll. Fumble. No, not fumble. I was thinking what would happen if I fumbled. That's what I said. Fail. All right. What does that mean? I don't know what that means exactly. Well, you'd best explain yourself quickly because I'm very confused about what's going on, and this is very strange.
There was a ring. He looks over to the man snoring. It was meant for your king, not him.
You mean? Explain. Which ring?
He wears the ring of Vortigern.
Why does he have it? He's not of Vortimer's line.
Indeed. He's of Cadogan's line.
I know who Cadogan is. Ah, so does Quadia. That's fancy. But, well, who are you? Why do you care about all of this?
Because it should have gone where it was meant to go.
As may be, but nonetheless, he has the damn thing, and I can't exactly just steal from a king and give to mine, can I?
Is it stealing if it was never meant to be his in the first place?
Fair and square, presumably, or not, nonetheless. If he got it, then it was meant for him, one presumes, no? Is it not?
You sound like my grandfather.
Grandfather was probably a really cool guy. So, like, is it?
Hengist thought so.
Hold on. I know the story of Hengist. I don't even know who that is. This is very strange. I'll just go inside and I'll tell Nanteleod that Cadell has his ring and a ghost told me so. I don't... I don't understand. Couldn't you have summoned me out here to fight a demon or something?
It seems they make champions of Carline out of any knight now.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that supposed to mean? I fought every man put in front of me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. If you were alive, I would answer. Listen, you already got beaten in a fight by somebody else, so let's not start anything we can't finish. Okay? Now, what do you want me to do?
It belongs to the heir of Carline, not Powys. With that, you see him kind of just end the conversation as he starts to walk away. And you notice a bit of a limp as he's walking away. Give me... What would this be? Folklore. Give me a folklore test.
I've got some points and not enough.
Nothing resonates there.
Definitely the wrong guy to come out here.
Yeah.
All right. Steal a ring from a king. Oh. Why me? Why is it me? Of all the... He sighs and I think he's going to walk over and look for the ring in question on the king.
You see a ring. It's a very specific signet ring.
Do I recognize it as being...
He wears two. Why don't you make a heraldry test?
I will steal them both. Shit, do I have my geniality? No.
I'll give you a success on this because you serve one of the lines of this. So it's not far off of Nanteleod's heraldry. Slightly different.
He didn't want me to wake him. I'm just going... He's too honest to, try and do any schemes. He's just going to walk back inside, mumbling to himself, and try and get up to the king. And just tell him.
All right. We will give you a geniality, but we will give you a tick on honest. And a tick on honor.
Thanks.
Let me go to Cormac.
Cormac. Well, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
do we know
The Muffin Man?
if the Muffin Man? Okay, nobody's gonna follow that up.
It goes forever.
Yeah.
Do we know if Sir Ruvon is here in the feast?
Do you know? Does Cormac know if Sir Ruvon's in the feast? Would you like to make a heraldry or recognize roll to find out if Sir Ruvon is in the feast? Or an intrigue roll to ask questions on whether Ruvon is in the feast?
It's either recognize.
I don't think you know
Heraldry
Ruvon, so a heraldry. Well, actually, yeah, you can recognize is also a valid thing. So heraldry, recognize, or intrigue. Yep.
I'm gonna look around the feast to see if Sir Ruvon is here. I am specifically looking for him because I want to try to fix this.
Okay. You
I
find him.
succeed. Woo.
Yep. He is in fact here.
I'm a start to adjust myself and then realize, hold up, I have no idea what I'm doing with any of this. My wife. I'm gonna go see if I can't fix this whole fiasco. My wife. I'm gonna see if I can't fix this whole fiasco with the road. Do I at least still look presentable? Did I ruin anything?
So far, so good. I would recommend staying away from your cousin. No squabbling before speaking to him. You always mess up your
Yeah,
hair.
I'm going directly over. Thank you. And I approach Sir Ruvon. And Sir Ruvon, pleasure to meet you. I am Sir Cormac. I was wondering if we might be able to have a word.
Of course, you're the captain of the guard, yes?
No, actually. I have felt that it is time to step down from that position. I hope that my suggestion for King Nanteleod's new captain will be announced here today, but nay. I have stepped down and I have taken ownership of a holding near your own.
Interesting.
I'm one of your new neighbors.
There's a suspicious look at that point. Of what land or manor?
Frutum and Urid.
And I'm sure you've seen the signs.
I have, and I was wondering if we might be able to talk about them. I've done some investigating, because I received this as for services rendered both during the wars and as captain of his person. For services rendered, I hold no familiar. I'm not a part of their bloodline, and I was wondering if it was me that has insulted you, or if I have done something wrong. I admit I am still new to being an actual landowner. Most of my time has been on the battlefield, and so I'm trying to address this peacefully, calmly, without need of going further. I want us to be good neighbors.
I want a
What may
courtesy
I-
roll from you.
I want to give you a courtesy roll, but I would like to know if hospitality.
You
be
can roll
used to-
hospitality. You cannot apply geniality to hospitality, but you can roll hospitality.
I would-
Well, damn it.
All right.
Trying to stab.
Yes. So go ahead and make a roll with +5.
Okay.
I don't really want him to fail. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It is.
Oops, wrong one. Sorry.
You're wasting good numbers here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. You do quite well. It's going to be contested against his proud. Because he's made a mistake, but can he admit it?
Okay.
Doesn't have a proud, and he's not necessarily impassioned by the location, the hate location. He is famously forgiving. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So... But it's that damn place. So we're gonna start with forgiving.
I get it.
He passes, but we're gonna test it against hate. Forgiving succeeds at hate, so we'll just simply test his proud, which I think is a little bit on the high side because I think.
Fumbles it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the heir of Job that he's doing this to, and he knows how that story always ends for those who have wronged Job.
Yeah, I think generally he has no beef with you.
No.
And the heir of Job has shown that you've suffered quite a bit. And he says, we've all had wrongs by family and neighbors and enemies alike. Perhaps it's time, if that family is truly gone, that I let go of my oath I swore to my father, that I wouldn't let them gain another inch. It seems the only inch they will be gaining is the one in which they are buried.
Well, I'm glad we have come to an understanding and accord. I'd like to, if you'd be so kind, feel free to stop by. I'll throw a good feast in your honor. Feed you for the night. That sort of thing. You know what I'm saying?
You're married, yes? We could get the wives together.
Exactly. Tell me, what do you know of gaming? A friend of mine over in Somerset taught me a game long ago that I've been trying to get started here in the Escavalon.
What game is this?
Well, see, what you do is you take approximately 10 logs. Then you find a rock or a boulder. You really want it to be something you can hurl. Obviously, the bigger the rock, the more of those logs you're going to knock down. But the smaller the rock, the easier it is to throw. And it's all about that balance. I call it bowling.
We're not going to let you invent bowling, Cormac. It's not going to happen.
God
I am
damn it.
I invented it back when you introduced Fane, sir.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So we will move on from that. Move on from that Bill and Ted moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you get 2 more, yes? All right. So yeah, you have a new friend or acquaintance. Yeah. We go to Rain for round 3.
How does Lady Illyri seem to be doing right now? She seems to be handling everything all right.
Yeah, I think she handles the place pretty well. There's just not been any recent terrible atrocities. You know, I think she tends to look out for... She's probably actually hanging around Justin a bit because he's like a sad sob now. So
Yeah.
just hanging out with her brother.
Okay. That's fine. I think Rain is just going to do the temperate thing. He's kind of still... I mean, he's still trying to process the toast. He's,
Okay.
you know, it's such a big thing for him. He doesn't even understand it himself, essentially. So, yeah.
Do you have homage to Nanteleod?
I have my loyalty lord, which would be only to Leo de Grant now. Yeah. I don't have a homage yet.
Where does Rain most see? And I'll ask you this: where does Rain most see peace come from? Where does he believe it'll come from?
I mean, realistically, he thinks Nanteleod's the one that's going to do it, but because he's always been extremely loyal to Nanteleod. But I don't know. He gets along well enough with Leo de Grants as well, so he just hasn't had enough. He hasn't had as many interactions with Leo de Grants as he has with Nanteleod. So it would have to be that way. Like, I mean, his ancestral home is here. I mean, that's why he fought so hard for his estate and everything too. So,
Okay.
I mean, he's willing to die for it at this point with his cousin. So,
Roll me a d6.
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't have to be very big, but we're gonna give you a directed trait for like hope,
Okay.
and that will represent like a peaceful future. That's what when we say
Okay.
hope. It's like leaning on an ideology a bit. All right. And make your temper roll.
All right.
Not 2, just 1. All right.
Yep. Comes
Pretty good for below the salt. Rocking 6.
Hell yeah.
All right. And then we go to Rune on the floor. Got any ideas, Yampa?
Probably unmute myself.
Might be useful.
Mine is short and sweet. I want to impassion with love family, or try to. Let me do that first. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go to my wife, and as we're basically anonymous at this point, nobody knows that we're here. I'm going to do my usual dancing with her, or try to.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I'd like to he'd go some. How do I explain it? Like he would ask her to teach him the Breaking ways.
Now let's start with the dance.
To plus 5 plus 7 because of my geniality, actually.
Perfect. All right. So what do you mean when, like, I think she says Brekianag ways?
I think he's thinking back to when he tried to lead a sortie out to see about the other tribes that were harassing the area.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants to know how, politics wise, culture wise, how to lessen the friction.
Okay. Understood. She says, as you asked, Lord Husband. Absolutely. If you wish to know more about them and your people, there isn't a better way to use your time, I would say. All right, and as we move away from that dance, we zoom in and we see Gwydir for his last moment before we end the feast. What is Gwydir doing?
He kneels before the king, and you say, King Nanteleod, it has come to my attention that your vassal, King Cadell, is in possession of a ring that belongs to your family. And whilst presumably he earned it of his own accord in one way or another, perhaps we could do the same. Perhaps as my champion I could challenge him and, well, his champion. Just first blood, perhaps, or to yield for ownership of the ring, which by all rights ought to be yours, King Nanteleod.
Just give me like a courtesy flat. No geniality on this one.
Yeah. Get out of here, you weirdo.
No, he's like a ring of my line. Gwydir, it's not that I'm uninterested in such things. In different times, it might even be the right thing to do. But with the war ahead, and he nods and he's like, oh, pardon me, I should say this to all. And with that, he gets up to stand in front of everyone. This is the card we're all aware of, where it's like the king delivers a toast or whatever. Yep. He says a speech. There we go. He says, "My subjects, we have done great in our victories against many enemies. All who have fought against us have lost. First, the Irish of Estragales, and their subsequent alliance." He walks over to Locke and kind of puts a hand on his shoulder, like, you know, like it's a peace now, like, but it is a history too. He's not afraid to say it. And then he says, "To the three Cadlus, to the mountain men who offend us, who have offended our lands, to those in Logres who would defy our claim, to the Saxons in the east, and to the Cornish. Britain is in a better place than it's been. This island is in a better place than it's been in some time. But we are not done yet. There is a new heir. I'm sure you've all heard the call of the Winter Prince, the heir of the Pendragon. I will not challenge his right to King of Logres, but I wanted to announce that I have summoned forth the Collegium. By winter, I hope to be named High King. And this Winter Prince, who most of you know as Sir Finnegan, he will be named King of Logres, crowned King of Logres. But there is an enemy still ahead of us. An enemy who has resisted us at every attempt, and who threatens our allies. Furthermore, It is one who I must address personally. For in some ways, he's like an uncle. I want you all to spend time with your families over the next few weeks. Enjoy your time. We will be meeting in Glevum for muster, and we will be marching on Wessex. And with that, there's cheers, but I think there's this sense like Wessex, short of losing like a multi-front war, Kardec is still listed as one of the top warlords right now. Like, this is probably seen as maybe the biggest threat that Nanteleod's faced so far, at least in name, maybe not in numbers. So mostly cheers. People are pretty high, but there are some apprehensive knights and ladies who feel like maybe this is a war that doesn't need to be pushed.
I am one of those who feel this might be a little unnecessary.
Nah.
Okay. Is there anyone? What about Rain and Rune? Where are they feeling about this? I think we know where Gwydir stands. Just in general, it's like the king said something. Yes, that is the right answer.
Right.
That is the way to go. Yeah.
Who knew?
Rain, after having, tended to some of the other guests, would have returned back to where his wife and Justin were at. And he was kind of like enthusiastic about the High King thing with the Collegium. But he's a bit more tempered when it comes to there being another war already going towards Wessex specifically. But he doesn't seem disappointed. He's just he's trying to be hopeful that it's going to end soon, where he can actually be home.
All right. We're going to do some quick check-ins, guys. I want everyone to roll me a d10.
Six.
Ooh.
Sorry. I messed up that syntax completely. 10!
Okay. So we will go in order then. Gwydir, what do you do over the next little while, these weeks before the muster?
Gwydir organizes the best spy dude or whatever that he can find to go into London and try and find this finger, giving him all the information that he has, and hoping that he can basically pave the way for him coming in next year and just getting the damn thing.
Okay. I want you to make an intrigue roll here for this sort of thing. You can up it. You can up your intrigue score with a modifier. For every 10 librum you spend, you can get 1 extra +1 here.
And can I passion as well?
No.
Fair enough. It's over a long enough time. Well, I have a bit of money. The other problem is that, I suppose, theoretically, once the Manor stuff gets sorted out, we'll be getting back pay as well, right?
Yeah, you can assume the pay. I think I even listed a temporary pay, if memory serves. So,
all right. That being the case, I'll spend. How important is it? I mean, it's pretty important. I've got some money set aside for knighting my sons. I will spend 110 for a +11.
Wow.
And I know that at this point, wait, isn't that more than what I was supposed to give the guy in the first place? It's the principal.
Yeah. If you're doing that, I'm making you tick proud.
Yeah, but that's
And you're like, I will pay more than the guy wants me to pay for his thing just to fuck him.
Yeah. You know, I think given that he's reckless and proud, then absolutely I'm gonna do that. Just because it's so fantastically stupid. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead and add the modifier and make the roll.
Give me a crit, you fuck.
What?
Or not.
Okay.
My intrigue's only 11 in the first place. He's not an intrigue guy.
Oh, right. Okay. I was thinking I thought it was going to push you over.
No. Wait, give me a +2, which is, you know.
Yep. Okay. He has an 18 intrigue.
18. Cool.
Yeah. So we'll be rolling that later and testing it like later in the year. See how that goes when we get through the war. So that is Gwydir. You do find him. We'll give him a name. Cadrigan. Not the Cadrigan. Yeah. I mean, it really fits, but it's not the Cadrigan.
Yeah. Add position, spy man.
You sure? I'm pretty sure that
you know what
that she could use that they could use the money.
What I will do is I will offer that to the players, and if they want to send Cadrigan off on a money making scheme, he does have those skills. So it could be Cadrigan from the Summerland game. But that's ultimately that's that group, specifically Rebecca and Emily have to agree.
Cool.
I mean,
because Emily wears the pants in that relationship. So Beatrice says.
That's 100 Librum, though. Don't forget to mention that.
Yeah. I will.
His intrigue. What's his intrigue? It's like
110 Librum.
Yeah.
Well, we rolled to see how good it was. It's 18.
Okay.
His is slightly higher than that, I think, but it's still not 20 if memory serves.
Yeah,
so yeah,
slightly higher than an 18, but not a 20.
Yeah,
maybe for 110 Libra.
I think it's 19.
18 and a half.
18.777. Yeah,
the guy's gonna literally just sit there on an edge when it rolls.
All right, we're going to move to who is next in the list. Someone else rolled after. I forget who it was. Rain. Move to Rain. What is Rain doing over the next few weeks?
I think Rain is legitimately going to just take a break. He's been doing the steward thing, the Castellan stuff, nonstop, and had very little family time. Even through all the last campaigns. So, like, even between campaigns, he was still doing all the Castellan stuff. So, I think he's going to follow what Nanteleod said and spend time with his family. And try to just prepare, because he could be dead after the war is over.
Okay. I want you to make an energetic versus lazy test. You get to choose which one and roll it.
I'll do energetic, because he's famous for it, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, you have to roll that first then. Okay.
I crit it.
You spend time with the family, and by time with the family, it's like you can't stop being busy, though, at the same time. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
If you ever seen that super dad that's like, oh, I got a week off work, but all they're doing is like they're in the shop or in the garage constantly fixing something.
Yeah.
That's Sir Rain right now.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to do with my own banner and stuff, too. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so you can you can up that to 17 and make a stewardship roll as well.
Okay. Any bonuses to stewardship?
Yeah, +5 because of the crit.
Okay. Where's that? That. I get to roll stewardship. I don't get to do that very often.
Sure, you get to roll stewardship.
That's the wife who normally does, I think, right?
Nah, she was hunting.
Okay. Yeah, so you just kind of look after your manor for the first time in a long time and clean up a lot of loose ends. You're busy like a farmer, like from sun up till sundown. And but it's also time with like what do you have for kids again?
They're toddlers. They're 2 and 3.
So they're like following you around, not getting in the way, and your wife, comes out a lot and spends time with you. It's
It's
nice home
simple
time.
life for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple life. Yeah.
Feels good.
Okay, your energetic, by the way, goes to 17 with that crit.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
you tick it and tick stewardship, and then we move on to Rune. Rune, my friend, if you could roll me 2d100.
Seventeen 41.
All right. You are back home. Everything is good in Brecon. What do you spend your time doing over this time frame?
Well, with how long I've been trying to deal with the plague, with almost not having the sword, with having gone up there and having failed for once already, with having to have made a pact with the dwarf that I have to bring the sword back, and not knowing if I'm even going to survive the next campaign. Sarun is going to make sure that the goings-on in his manor are okay, and then he's just going to set out up to the mountain by himself, like the prophecy said, to face this fucking thing with this sword.
Powerhouse.
Based.
Very fair. One second. You spend time following leads, and actually, as you go, you learn that one of those neighborly groups of the Brecon has been suffering from the plague quite recently. So you follow the trail to it. It's moved, but it finds the same sort of natural paths as its methods in which to solve these things. And we zoom in as Rune confidently rides up towards it. Give me a valorous roll to begin this. If you wish to impassion, it will be for the scene.
For the whole scene?
Mm.
Well, then I will impassion with honor.
Okay.
You got this.
And that is a thing that's over 20, so that's exalted, so that's a 10, right?
Mm-hmm. It kind of forms in front of you, and when it forms, it recognizes who you are, and it begins to laugh on the wind.
I'm just going to dismount my horse, because if I die, it doesn't have to die with me. And I will unsheath my sword, and I will walk towards it. Well, actually, but after I pass if I pass my valorous test. There you go.
Okay. You find having no familiarity with this thing, other than your past, which hasn't gone well, despite all the promises ahead. You still feel your hand shaking a bit as you draw the sword. But you notice its response when it sees the sword. It sort of seems to recoil just a little bit. And then it looks... It's hard to say, it doesn't have facial expressions or anything. But you sense an anger in it, a hostility, and it moves to attack you.
Get him. Get him.
Is that with your plus 10?
Yes.
Rolled a natural one.
Okay.
Wang.
It reaches out, and just before you get to it, it catches your hand, and it puts its other, almost like a hand that seems to form, on your throat. I need you to roll me a d6. You feel it pulling in a way, it's almost like supernatural. It seems to be trying to drain the life right out of you. But you manage to resist. Give me a con roll, just to make sure that you're still in good standing here. No, you will be, because the plus, yep, you're plus 10 on every. There you go. To free yourself, your sword arm from it, and strike it with your sword, you'll need a strength roll to do so. It holds on, and you start to slip away. It sort of just pulls at you, but it spends its round making sure that you don't get free. And it says, "You will die here like the rest." And it spreads out and echoes. Rest, rest, rest.
Tag me in, bro.
I need a d6 roll.
I wanna roll. I'm gonna roll the d6. I'm gonna roll something here to see what its answer would be. Just straight, just wordly.
Ah, yes, wordly.
Taka no jutsu.
I think it just grits his teeth. And he doesn't say anything because he feels like it's getting choked, but in his mind he's going like, to whatever fucking thing is up there watching me, I will value my life. Just let me free my people.
Okay. I will allow you a strength or a dex roll. You can, if you do a strength roll, this will be you pulling away using your strength. If it's a dex roll, it's you dropping the sword out of your one hand, catching it with your other hand, and giving you the ability to strike it at close range.
We shall try the dex then.
It's too cool not to.
You realize that as it's holding you, you can feel almost like a fatigue in your arms, and it kind of goes through your whole body. This thing is moving to drain the life out of you. You drop the sword and you catch it in your other hand, your offhand. If you wish to strike it, you may attempt to do so. This will be a sword -5 because it is your offhand. But you get the plus 10.
So it's a minus.
That's a +5 total.
It's a full +5, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Troy.
Just want to check this.
Get it.
Get it.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me your damage and your crit damage.
Damage. Boom. Crit damage is 4d6. 4d6 plus the.
There you go.
43 from the thing. I rolled a 1, but
A nice swing.
You see this thing moves through it, and whatever. Unlike before, where your weapon seemed to almost have no effect, you can see and hear the sound. It's the same sound that you would hear when a sword carves through flesh, except for there's a wailing cry as it starts to separate and dissipates. You hear it crying, but the crying gets softer as it sort of diffuses or becomes part of the air itself in front of you.
So I guess he just falls to a knee and just like stands up quickly, just holding his sword, just expecting it to come back. Like that's it.
Now, as you're dealing with this, you remember the oath you gave. The question for Rune is, who does he think helped him?
I mean, I rolled wordly.
I get that, but after that, you chose to make an oath.
That is true. I don't know which one would make more sense. I mean, he is wielding a sword like that was improved by a dwarf. I think that's... But he also just...
You could argue, is your faith of your upbringing, is that more worldly than your faith of believing that a bunch of mysticism did it? Just looking at it from the Christian angle, like is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's Rune very much started not believing in any of this stuff, but then he has slowly realized that there is another side of things that he doesn't really understand, but he is apparently very much attuned to because he has to be. I think. I don't think it's God. I don't think he's leaning to the Christian side because the Christian side has been failing him for a while now. I think he's leaning more pagan side. Some spirits, some good spirit on the pagan side that might be local or something. I don't know.
You don't have those answers. What you do have is that you know that in your mind, you've walked away from your faith, and that sits with you on your ride back. You don't feel remorseful about the change. You do feel weaker. Your strength was reduced by 1 as it held you permanently. The first time you rolled a 6, you got nothing. So you were suffering aging rolls every round you fought it. You can go ahead and add 500 glory to your sheet.
Hell yeah.
Assuming you tell the tale.
It probably won't. He's famously honest.
It's up to you.
Tell me also.
Do you have a squire with you, or did you ride alone?
He went alone.
Did you tell your wife where you're going? Someone will spread it in your name, if anyone else knows.
I don't think he would. I mean, it doesn't make sense for him to tell his wife, like, hey, I'm going to go kill a spirit. And I think it's just think for himself.
If you're willing, then we'll count it as 0 glory.
Yeah, I think it's just a thing for himself.
Okay, you can tick him out, son.
Yeah. Yeah, it only makes sense.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right.
That's my best friend right there.
And what about Cormac as we close out the night? What is his 3 weeks spent on?
Cormac now actually has vassals. Now he's not just the captain of the guard. But that's what he knows. He suggested Sir Justin as his replacement.
And Sir Justin's been named.
I feel good about that. And it's he had twin boys over the course of the winter. And I think with these 3 weeks, he is starting to train his people on how to defend themselves with the spear.
Gotcha.
And I think it's one of those that, oh yes, he's getting his commoners ready to sort of, if need be, defend themselves or if some of them are getting good enough to warrant it, to recruit them as actual soldiers. Because right now he has nothing but a manor and some cattle. So he's starting with what he knows, and what he knows is how to train people to fight and fighting.
Yeah. Trent, real quick, do you remember what you start with for concerned commoners?
I'm pretty sure it's a 3d6 roll, if I remember correctly. Let me just check mine. I think that's right.
Roll 2d6 plus 6 then, Cormac.
My concerned commoners, because we rolled it when I was given the villa, because we were going to sort of do that, is a 7.
Yeah, roll again. 2d6 plus 6. This is a different
2d6
scenario.
plus 6?
Yep. Gotta be higher than 7, huh?
At least by 1.
There you go.
There you go.
13. All right, and you can tick. We'll give you generous tick as well.
All right. But yeah, I am, and it's weird because I'm gonna have like the nursemaid and everything for the boys around just in case. But for the most part, after showing them how to do basic attacks, basic defenses, I've got both boys like I'm holding them, sort of drilling the commoners that are willing to do this in how to do it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time we're drilling, I'm never without at least one of my kids. But the youngest is the 2 boys that just born over the winter. The oldest is 3, so they're not technically walking around with him yet. But he's always got at least one, if not multiples.
All right. You receive news as well from Great Bridge.
Okay.
The Winter Prince is mustering in Glevum, and he will see you there.
See, now I've got to sit there and drill them a little bit harder. I can't let my people embarrass me in front of my ward.
Sure you can.
No, I can't. I can't do that.
All right, y'all. And
Like,
with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. So this has been a game of Pendragon until its legacy. We will be off next week. And when we return, we will be in Fog of War for the battle against Wessex. So I'm going to be sending out another poll over the next few days. And then after I'm back from the con next week, we're going to go ahead and start to get those done. Just a note for those that are curious about the Fog of War, we have 3 games that are connected, and there's potential that all 3 games will be participating in said war. We'll find out. The last bit here is if you happen to be listening to this and for whatever reason you're going to Gamescom Canada in Edmonton, I will be there. I'll be running a little bit of Pendragon 6th edition while I'm there. So feel free to stop by and say hi. So this has been Until Its Legacy. Thanks to Trent, Bert, Drax, and Yampa, and Rhaegar, who's enjoying a bit of life right now. We'll be back next time. Yeah, right. We'll be back soon with another episode.